What's going on, everyone? It's Justin here, and today I've got an unboxing for you of the brand new Mac Mini with the M1 chip. So this is, of course, Apple's very own silicon that can promise better performance and better efficiency, but in the case of a desktop computer, you don't really care about the battery life. So this is a model that I think is going to be very unique and is going to give an indication as to what we should expect in 2021 in terms of Apple's Pro line of computers, whether it is the iMac, the Mac Pro, all using Apple's very own silicon. This is definitely a computer where some creatives would love to give it a try, whereas others may be very skeptical because of the reliability and program compatibility. But for example, if you're like a Final Cut Pro 10 user, then Apple has promised faster timelines, being able to run multiple streams of ProRes and high resolutions, and it also supports the Apple Pro Display XDR at 6K. So in this video, we're gonna go ahead and set it up, and I'm gonna do some general creative applications, but I know this is also going to be something that is popular for developers and people who are going to be creating applications for the M1 chip specifically. I do have another episode of Setup Makeover coming up though, so if you guys are excited for that, make sure you subscribe, have your post notifications on, and also follow me over on Instagram for behind the scenes. Let's go ahead and open this up, and the model that I have right here is with the M1 chip, which is universal throughout the entire lineup. It is an 8-core processor that is 4 performance cores and also 4 efficiency cores, as well as an 8-core GPU, and this one right here is also paired with the max 16 gigs of RAM and 1 terabyte of solid state storage. It is called unified memory because the CPU and the GPU share that RAM, and it doesn't have any separation between like GPU RAM and also CPU memory. So I actually haven't had a Mac Mini in quite a while, and back when I did, I was really happy with it. And when I upgraded to a brand new computer, I actually found the performance of the new one to be worse than my Mac Mini at the time, which seems to have happened to me more often than not. So here we've got like the plastic to take off. Nothing really exciting about that. And I got it in the OG silver color. But honestly, even though I like space gray more as an individual color, my setup has kind of evolved into one that is silver and black, and I have no complaints of that. So here's the Mac Mini, and as you can see, it is pretty thin. It's got the big Apple logo right there, and we're also gonna take out the power cord, and I believe that is the only thing that is included. So no Thunderbolt, no HDMI, and I believe that is the only other thing in the box. But taking a closer look at the Mac Mini itself, it does have like a nice squared off finish that is super minimal, and I really look forward to putting this on my desk and just plugging it in and being able to run it on the XDR display and see how good the performance is when trying to power 6K pixels while also editing 4K video, some of which in ProRes, and I may even try putting some Red Raw at it. So it looks like you have like a bit of a port for the fan, as well as 2 Thunderbolt 3s, the HDMI, 2 USB A's, the headphone jack, your power, and that is about it. Yeah, give you guys a quick look at that. And I think the next thing we should do is just go ahead and plug it in and give you my first impressions as to how the performance is on this M1 system. So I went ahead and plugged the Mac Mini into my XDR display that I've been using for the past couple months and I've really enjoyed with the Mac Pro, but I'm really curious to see what performance I'm able to get with this many pixels being powered, as well as 4K editing in ProRes as well as Red Raw. So the setup process is pretty typical, and it is running macOS Big Sur. For those who may not know, programs made by Apple are already compatible with the M1 chip, but for others it runs through a translation layer called Rosetta 2. For some programs, the translation will work seamlessly, but for others, you might find the performance is not that good at start. When it came to benchmarks alone though, this computer scored very high in the single core, and in general, the benchmark numbers are pretty impressive for Apple's very first computer chip. This is all while keeping in mind that because Geekbench 5 does run through Rosetta 2, it is only running at about 78% of its full capability. So the real benchmark score is probably higher. So because I make videos for a living, the first thing that I really wanted to test out is just how good the performance is in video editing. And honestly, on my $20,000 Mac Pro, the performance is not as consistent as you would think. So I booted up a project that was in ProRes 4K, and I actually had it play in better quality instead of better performance, which usually does cause my computer to freeze. Honestly though, I am just so impressed because the performance was impressive and we were able to scroll through the entire timeline of a 10-minute video with no lag whatsoever. And one of the things that Apple mentioned is that the timeline render is up to 6 times faster. This is definitely something that did impress me, and I also went ahead and dropped in some red raw and tried to modify some of the red settings, and it was also able to do that with no lag at all. Obviously, the Mac Mini is a model that is very versatile, and I know there are people who are going to be using it for photo editing, for creating applications and programs, but I feel like this is just like a really good preview as to some of the amazing pieces of tech that we could see in the next year from Apple for the professional line. This all could include a 16-inch MacBook Pro, an iMac, as well as a Mac Pro. So obviously when it comes to timeline render, that is all very unscientific, and just from like general usage and the feeling of it is that this computer was much more reliable and had smoother playback than any other computer that I've used before for this type of video editing. But perhaps a more scientific test is video exports, and when it came to exporting this 4K video in H.264, I was able to get it out in 3 minutes and 14 seconds. I also compared it to my Mac Pro, which is able to get it out in 2 minutes and 33 seconds, but just for perspective, the Mac Pro costed me over 20,000 Canadian, has 2 GPUs that are combined up to 64 gigabytes of video RAM, as well as 200 gigs of system RAM and a 16-core CPU. Considering the M1 Mac Mini only has 16 gigs of unifying memory, which is for CPU and GPU, I've gotta say I am super impressed. But otherwise, that pretty much wraps it up for my video of the M1 Mac Mini in the top spec configuration. So if you guys like that, make sure you subscribe, drop a like on this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.